It has a cooking roller in it.
It does have a cooking roller, doesn't it?
Because I had a cooking roller. Welcome back.
So welcome back. So today we're going to make some butternut squash ravioli. It's going to be topped with a little special sauce with walnuts and garlic, and it's just going to taste absolutely delicious. So before we get started, here's a little joke for you. Why do chicken coops only have 2 doors? Because if they had 4 doors, it'd be a sedan. Ha ha ha. All right, terrible, terrible. So without further ado, let's get cooking. To start, we're going to make our butternut squash filling. We're going to peel a 2.5 pound butternut squash, cut off the end.
Ooh, orange.
Chop it in half, scoop out the seeds.
Very tasty.
How is it?
It's a little bad.
Cube it, and then throw it into the pan. We're going to then add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of garlic, half a teaspoon of oregano, a half a teaspoon of rosemary, and a half a teaspoon of thyme. You know, the thing we could all use more of. We're going to toss that into the pan and get all those flavors dispersed throughout, and then throw it into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 to 40 minutes, or until the squash can be poked with a fork and can easily slide out.
How do you make it like a chicken butt?
Like a chicken butt. While that's roasting in the oven, we're going to make our dough. We're going to start by adding 3 cups of flour, 4 eggs, 4 tablespoons of water, 4 tablespoons of olive oil, and 1 teaspoon salt. We're going to mix this in a mixer with a dough hook attached, making sure to scrape down the sides to get everyone incorporated. Once that dough comes together, it is still pretty sticky, which is fine but not ideal. Really, you want this dough to be smooth, which you will see in the second attempt. We are going to take this out, put it in a bowl, and let it rest at room temperature for about 20 minutes. While that's resting and our squash is done roasting, we're going to take all the squash and throw it into a blender and blend it on up. Since it isn't blending as well as we hoped, we are adding some olive oil, but you just want to make sure just to add just enough olive oil so that it can actually get blended up. Once that's all blended, we're going to set that to the side. You trying to grind your carrot? Is it working?
No.
Now that our dough has rested and got its beauty sleep, we're going to attempt to roll it out. Our dough is still a little sticky yet, which is fine. However, we should have tried to ensure that we added additional flour to prevent it from sticking. As you can see, the dough itself wasn't as smooth as it should have been. Also, you really need the surface of the countertop to be floured really well so that the dough can slide across the countertop with ease and you can pick it up to run it through again. Since it wasn't well floured, we ended up with holes in the pasta. Needless to say, this first batch ended up too holy and way too thick because I didn't want to run the other line of pasta through the roller just to fear what happened to the first one. Now, time for the second attempt. This time we're going to take everything we learned from the first time and apply it to the second round. We're going to make this dough with one hand because we need to get Ethan to start learning how to cook as well. We're going to start with 3 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, our 4 eggs. That's right, a real man can hold a baby and crack an egg single-handedly. Add our 2 tablespoons of olive oil and then our 4 tablespoons of water. This time we're adding less olive oil so that the dough isn't as sticky. We're going to wrap this in saran wrap and let it rest for 20 minutes. Once our dough has rested, we're going to coat that thing in flour and we're going to roll this out. Just make sure to roll it out starting with the thicker setting and then going down. I went to about 3 or 4 on thickness on this machine, but really you will probably just want to try multiple thicknesses to find out which one works best for you. Now that it's rolled out, we're going to take some of our leftover butternut squash filling from the first attempt, add that to one side, paint in between the butternut squash filling with water to get the pasta to stick together, and then fold it over. Also, it is best to do this one at a time, since if you let it sit for too long, the water will seep through the pasta and it will cause it to stick to the counter. We're going to push the air out and get a nice tight seal. Cut these apart and then pinch the ends together with a fork. Just rinse and repeat until you have all your raviolis. In a pot of boiling water, we're going to add some salt, then start dropping our raviolis into the pot. We want to cook these until the pasta is cooked, which is about 4 to 5 minutes depending on your thickness. Once you have those guys cooked, we're going to set them to the side. We will take a skillet, add 4 tablespoons of butter, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, and 1/4 a cup of chopped walnuts. Once the butter is melted, we will add 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Once the walnuts and the garlic start to get toasted, we're going to add our raviolis and then toss them around in that butter, garlic, and walnuts and get those nice and coated. Once everything is nice and coated, it's time to eat.
There we have a ravioli.
So there we have our ravioli. So without further ado, let's get taste testing. How is that?
Good.
That's good?
Yeah,
Not
that's really good. It's very well seasoned and the filling is great.
I agree. I mean, third time's a charm, right? Finally got it right size. It tastes absolutely delicious. The perfect amount of butternut with the noodles itself, with the seasoning on top, with the walnuts and the butter and the black pepper and the garlic. It's absolutely delicious. I wouldn't change a thing. So with that being said, if you like this video, hit that like button down below. If you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified every time I make a new video. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye.